Hello, everybody. Welcome to your July Part 2 video scope. And thank you for subscribing. I have summer pricing up on my single sessions, most of them. And you can also join me on Patreon for the monthly live stream and the sign-by-sign video scopes. So we're heading into the second half of this month. The sun is still transiting through Cancer. And on the 17th, Venus joins the Sun and Mercury in Cancer, a very feminine and proactive cardinal sign known to be kind and gentle and protective, security conscious, and strong ties to mother energy and family, whether that be good or not so good, strong ties to that. But certainly with this kind of energy moving through, peace and quiet and home is highlighted. Cancer also tends to bring out the mothering quality in many, and this sign also rules the businesses and the public. Now, the Sun and Mercury are traveling very close together this month in Cancer, where it can be easier to talk about feelings and find the language for that. You may experience more communications with others, neighbors, friends, family members, and it can be a busy time with plenty of appointments and correspondence and meetings and social activity, new information to process and decisions to make. It's a good time for sharing ideas and making plans and buying and selling and negotiating and meeting new people. They both trine, the Sun and Mercury, Neptune on the 17th. So we have a water trine here, the feeling nature, the creative, more sensitivity and intuition and compassion and appreciation for the beautiful, creative, and artistic. This is from 25 degrees of Cancer to Pisces. On the 18th and 19th of July, the Sun and Mercury transiting Cancer now move into an opposition with Pluto in Capricorn. If Cancer is warmth and emotion, Capricorn in contrast can be felt like cool, calculating, focused. Be aware of your own energy during this period and the people and environment around you. You may experience some power issues here in communication with others, through travel experiences. You may also be the instigator of change, and being aware of how you go about this is helpful now. You may instigate it. You may also have it pushed upon you. So we are now in the orb of the Uranus North Node conjunction, which is going to perfect on the 31st of July at 19 degrees of Taurus. And the North Node represents the call for the new information, new patterns, new themes. And you may attract people or lessons into your life that encourage you to detach from traditions or conventions that are keeping you from growing. Pivotal friendships, group dynamics can also occur now. And in Taurus, the life lessons are about learning to be more self-sufficient while aligning with focusing on the betterment of the world around you, right? In your relationships, in your community, society. This may bring a retraining and changing your definition of what abundance, security, and comfort means to you. Uranus is the awakener, the change agent that often brings surprises, upsets, and quick developments. But it's also an emancipating energy as well, if you've been feeling the need for that. Now, what's going to happen is exact on August 1st, Mars is moving into conjunct. So this will be a triple conjunction between Uranus, Mars, and the North Node. And that's exact on August 1st. Mars is a trigger planet. It's an activator planet. It makes much more personal the meaning and the passage of this broader transiting theme. And you'll feel it beforehand. We always feel Mars coming, towards the end of the month. But it personalizes this energy in an immediate manner. Mars conjunct Uranus is a combustible combination when you see a lot of quick developments and reactions. React, 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 things just coming out, action first. And so it's helpful to be aware of this, to be aware that people may be in a reactive state, quick developments. Now, in Holland, we're seeing a large farmer demonstration as government is seeking to reduce cattle farming by 30%. Thousands of farmers have shown up on their tractors, and they feel extremely unsure about their own ability to earn a living. We've been going through these themes on Planet the past 2 years as well. It's a great time to support your local farmers, farmers markets, etc. Yet this combination, Mars, Uranus, North Node, can bring a strong energetic of personal empowerment and the need for change and a sense of personal emancipation. And we know often we are our biggest obstacle through our mind and through our thoughts and through our programming and patterns. Now, on the 19th, Chiron stations retrograde at 16 degrees of Aries until December, when he will station direct at 11 degrees of Aries. And the Chiron effect now moves from the external to the internal. So rather than learning about your sensitivities through the day-to-day external experiences, you'll now be reflecting on them and your inner work. In Aries, you may feel a sense of urgency. Okay, let the healing begin. When are we done? So clearing up trauma and healing. Aries is not always comfortable with tough or painful or complicated feelings. And speed and impatience runs counter to the chironic process. So do your best, slowing down and realizing that this isn't a perfection event, a contest or a race to be won. It is the journey. The energy exchange of all that is going on the planet now is, if you want to be that change you want to see in the world, we have to clear up our own field, our own density patterns. If you're pushing against war, where are you feeling war-like in your own life? That's how this works, because we are vibrational frequency generating souls and human beings that are magnificent with our creative potential. And that's part of what this awakening process is. Awakening to these dense patterns, these lower frequencies, but it's an inside job. It can be no other way. That's what shadow material is. If you're angry and raging against something, and then, being aggressive in your personal life and relationships, well, you may want to stop looking out there and bring that in and see where that pattern arose from and what does that anger need, right? Now, Venus will be squaring this newly Chiron retrograde on the 31st, when this other conjunction perfects. from 16 Cancer to Aries. So when you may find relationships or family dynamics can irritate old wounds, but this is just the mirror for us. We're in our holograms, and energy is being mirrored back to us based on our own frequency and vibrational patterns. It's almost impersonal, really. So this is the process. This is the process. And pay attention also to where Chiron is located in your chart, as those energies are part of your story and this story. On the 19th, Mercury transits Leo through August 4th, and the Sun joins in on the 22nd. Leo, a fixed fire sign, is ruled by the Sun, which represents our ego and creativity and illumination and wisdom. The Sun illuminates the dark and the subconscious, bringing your needs and your motivations to light. Self-esteem and your sense of importance is highlighted. Confidence and vitality is the Sun's domain, and hence Leo's domain. Leo rules executives and managers and performers and entertainment and children. Why? Because Leo is the sign of the heart as well. And when we're children, we're very aligned with our heart before these different influences come in to shape and mold us. Play, pleasure, and self-gratification is the theme. The new moon occurs on July 28th in Leo at 6 degrees, and it trines a stationing retrograde Jupiter on the very day of the new moon. At 8 degrees Aries, Jupiter remains retrograde until November 23rd. He'll station direct at 29 degrees of Pisces. So we're going to be going back into some of these health themes on planet, and we're already seeing signs of this. But so the growth and the creativity and the heart is tied to the Jupiter retrograde, which is working with your own inspiration, your own love and generosity and expansiveness. So this is a beautiful fire trine. This highlights the 5th house of the natural zodiac and the 1st house of the natural zodiac. Will, spirit, inspiration, children's affairs, and education are tied to former developments now through November especially. I do feel schools will continue to be in a state of change and disruption in the months ahead. Children and their safety and their physical health is a huge focus. Uranus has been transiting the United States 5th house of children, bringing lots of surprise and shock and disruption. But also new forms are being born. This dismantling process occurring across societies is also the driver of long-term reorganization. The guides say this is a time of learning to raise your vibration from these dense patterns and to bring a lot of healing into your heart, into the heart space. The heart has been negated in so many of the life experiences, and also through the power centers on planet. We gently encourage you to be mindful of where you place your thoughts, peace, beauty, artistry. That which is soothing and uplifting is like balm for both the mind, the heart, and the soul. We see a great need for this self-care on planet, and this tending to, we remind you that we are participating, encouraging, and supporting this awakening on planet from these density patterns and systems. to remind you of what a transformative time this is for so many humans now. And we, as always, are grateful for your healing and your light. Take care, everybody. Be kind, be present, and be love. Namaste.